Ziggy, welcome to the Ziggy Stardust podcast. Just joking. It's the Retrocade podcast, episode 28. We got it right this time, Sean.
That's right. It's progress. Good
Progress.
Back on the air. This is Sean. That's Phil.
I'm very excited for this big episode.
So-
We've got a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about today. So much, Sean. So much has happened. The big Marvel movies. We're still awaiting a few more, but it's going to be
This
fantastic.
is the build-up. So this was
Massively.
the tentative Super Bowl of Marvel movies.
Pretty much.
It's been almost a 6-year run.
Does anybody know what we're talking about, or have they been living under a rock?
I mean, listen, North Korea, they're watching Avengers 1 right now,
They
so
sure
give them
are.
some time. Give them some time. So, yeah, there's a lot of hype around this movie. There was a big build-up, and I have to say Thanos in his glory.
Anos. It was. So, were you a massive fan?
So, as anyone knows me or has listened to prior episodes, I am a huge Thanos fan. Probably the biggest. If you ever go to my apartment, they have a giant Thanos painting. It's in full
It's a
glory.
nice painting. You don't have any pictures of that we could throw up for the fans?
I'll get one. I'll throw
Put
one
it
up on the page.
Yeah, the Retrocade Instagram, Facebook page.
Prior women weren't fans of it. Like, what the fuck is that? But
Nowadays, everybody knows who Anos is.
get with the Anos. He's not some gay villain that
Yeah. Well, you're a big
sodomizes
fan
people.
of Thanos in general, even before.
I like
this
to
movie
like
was
people
things.
ahead of the curve. The Joker,
Sure.
Thanos, but now Thanos is at his prime. So much at his prime that Fortnite, this big massive game that everyone's obsessed
Oh,
with,
the kids love their Fortnite.
they put a Thanos kind of scenario into it where you play and one person's Thanos in the map.
Right.
So you get the gauntlet, you become Thanos,
That's funny.
and you just crush and kill everyone. But
Until you get killed. or for
when
like
you are Thanos, you appear on the map so people can hunt you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you could have like clans of players.
and,
Hunt
you
the
know,
shit
you
out of
have like 500 shield, 200 health, and
which is premium levels.
you know, so you're gonna kill 12 people in the process of
Yeah,
someone killing you.
before you go down. Yeah,
But
that's.
the fact that he's even in a game like Fortnite.
It goes to show you the universal, ubiquitous popularity of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
So this was a big project, an ambitious
Real big,
project.
and we are Marvel shills tonight.
Yes,
We're Marvel Disney shills.
our friend Mike, you'll be proud.
I wish I was getting a paycheck, but from Marvel or Disney, but we're not.
No, fortunately, no.
But yeah, I mean, so we saw it. It's been out. We'll go spoiler heavy. I would hope you've seen it by now.
So at this point, I saw it this week. I saw it 3 weeks late.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
just things didn't work out.
I didn't see it night
scheduling.
one. I saw it Saturday, the night that it after it came out.
We have a consistent tradition of seeing Star Wars night one.
Well, that's different. Star Wars
We
goes
go
deep
back
into
about
my
4 or
loins.
5 movies being you.
Sure.
And we will see Solo night one as well.
Yeah, soy
We
love
maintain the tradition.
for sure, which we'll
But-
get into later on in
As
this
we're
episode.
talking about Avengers, so this is a huge, ambitious project. You got
Extremely ambitious.
Strange, Spider-Man, you know, Guardians, the whole nine.
Captain America, Thor,
And now Black Panther is really popular,
very
especially in the
popular.
ethnic
They had
community.
they stuck him in deep. They stuck him in deep. They had Hulk. Only you didn't have a lot of Hulk. You had.
I want to get into the Hulk. That was
sure.
one of my disappointments.
Oh, that was a disappointment for you. Why?
Correct.
Because you thought he was gonna have a. We'll talk about that right now. You thought he was gonna have maybe a.
So, I think one of the best parts of the movie is the actual very beginning.
Sure.
Where there's just death, carnage, slaughter. And you have Loki scheming, which I love Loki.
You sure do.
And you have Thanos in his full regalia, you know, which I like when he's in his full armor. He's got his helmet on, the whole nine.
Oh yeah.
And the Hulk pops out of nowhere, and he's punching Thanos, and they're wrestling, they're fighting. It was awesome. The Loki schemes him. He tries to kill him with the knife at the end, but he uses his gem to stop the knife.
Right.
I like that Loki went down as a schemer. At least he stayed
Yeah.
true to character.
Yes, that worked well for me. And I
also
was fine.
showed-
I think he's done. I don't think he's coming back.
Middleton's done.
Middleton's out the window now.
I think another
as
thing that was
Loki.
cool is it kind of showed his indiscretions where he had some morals, where he's like, I'm going to kill your brother.
Which is good because he was good and bad throughout this whole series with the Thor movie, with Avengers 1, wait, was he in Thor? Yeah, he's in the Thor original. Of course he is.
He's in every Thor.
He's in every Thor movie, and then he's in Avengers 1. He's really the main bad guy in Avengers 1 technically.
Yes. But he kind of developed this anti-hero where he's not a villain, but he's not a hero.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, though,
Very fine line with his character of because he's because he's Thor's brother, but at the same time he's a bad guy out for himself, and he's not technically because he's really Thor's stepbrother, right? Or
So Odin's their father.
Odin's their father, quote
Odin
unquote.
just
but he's really
sleeps with a shit ton of women as they 800 kids.
And he's really in a half Iceman, or whatever they are.
So
White Walker.
The one thing which was, you realize if he wasn't gonna kill Thor, he had the Tesseract, which was inevitably one of the Infinity Stones.
Yes.
at
Which
his
one was it?
disposal.
It was the soul, not the Soul Stone. It was the whatever.
It's hard to keep up.
Whatever.
with those.
It's fucking so many stones with that gauntlet. That gauntlet of fucking that oven mitt of power.
And that was a cool cameo. People don't know.
Which
The
Stan Lee driving a city bus.
Well, of course.
Get the fuck off my bus. I'm
like,
worth
that's
millions
an
of
old
dollars.
fucking bus driver. But you know what? In the Queens
I wouldn't
public
trust him.
school system, they might
can
have
only
those
afford,
anyway.
Can't even afford a younger driver. I'm on Social Security.
But they had the dwarf from Game of Thrones.
Yes, he's got a name, Sean. Oh man, why am I
Midget,
drawing a
whatever.
blank? Yeah,
So anyway, the dwarf I call him. And he looks like this giant, and then they
Yeah.
kind of just do this whole drastic.
that's funny though. Yeah, friggin' they had Tyrion Lannister as or Peter Dinklage, I should say.
Peter Dinklage.
I'm calling him Tyrion
I'm calling him
Lannister.
the dwarf, which
You're
is
calling
worse.
him dwarf, which is terribly insulting.
It's
He's
not
gonna
PG.
he's gonna end up retweet a PC.
To
He's
any
not.
of our
He's
dwarf
gonna end up
listeners out there.
Yeah, we're sorry. Well, he's definitely gonna retweet
Forge me
you.
a nice hammer and go back to
Yeah, but so it was funny because he was really big in this movie, and that's funny because he's like a giant
But
dwarf.
it was
I
a
guess.
cool little cameo you weren't
Yeah.
expecting.
It is more than a cameo. I mean, he was in the movie for at least 7 minutes.
So
It's also a long movie, mind you.
it's very long.
2.5 hours. The
movie's
exact
just a-
runtime is
Build up. It's I'd say 2 hours 20 minutes.
it's got to be a little longer than that. 2:27, I'd say. 2:40. 2 hours and 40 minutes.
So I didn't
120,
even see, I didn't even see
160 minutes. That's a long. It didn't. I'll tell you this much. It did not feel its length. It did not feel 2 hours and 40 minutes.
It did not drag. No,
I would
sir.
say I would say I thought it was 2.5 hours or a little less than that, 2:28 or some shit. But I didn't. It didn't feel almost 3 hours.
So what I want to get to is, who do you think were your most enjoyable, stronger characters, and who were boring, terrible, or lacking?
Okay, I liked Doctor Strange a lot in this movie.
I agree. I think he had a huge role, a bigger role than I anticipated.
Bigger role than I
And I thought
anticipated.
he was awesome.
And I thought he was really one of the carriers of the film at points. Thor was good. The whole Guardians of the Galaxy, every one of those was pretty fun. I like
really,
their scenes.
I disagree. I think
You didn't like Peter,
yes,
what's his name?
Star-Lord,
Peter Quill?
I thought he was kind of annoying.
He did fuck it up. Yeah, well,
He
I guess
fucked it up. And
Well, I
thought
like
he's
Rocket
just-
Raccoon and the rest of them more
Yeah,
than I liked
Rocket
him.
and
He was
Groot.
actually the least. Him and Gamora were. I mean, maybe Gamora's storyline was all right because she had the at the
She
end with
was
Thanos,
his daughter.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. Which they explained in Guardians 2.
But I think Star-Lord, Peter Quill, he was annoying. He's very weak. Oh, he has a laser blaster and a jetpack.
And technically, it's his fault that
Yeah, he let his emotions get to him.
and he fucked it all up for half the universe.
He's basically a low
Spoilers.
budget. He's a low budget Iron Man. They both
Yeah.
have blasters and jetpacks, but
Yeah.
he sucks.
Yeah.
He's
Well, but he's
quirky.
half god. He's half god, Sean.
Listen, I think
I don't know
Tony
how.
Stark
Tony Stark will shoot his fucking face off.
is way higher level than Peter Quill ever will be.
Yeah. Sure.
Rocket Raccoon and Groot, they're just iconic. They're cool.
Yes.
And they fill
Rocket
that-
Raccoon was good in this. I liked him. I like Groot. I like Groot. I am Groot. You're like,
And I'm like,
oh,
how dare you say
yeah,
that?
That's funny, Shit like that is good. That's good humor. See The Last Jedi? That's good humor. See Ryan Johnson? But even then, that kind of humor might not even fit in a Star Wars movie.
So,
you got to do it very.
I think this was a big part within the Avengers where Thor kind of became the most powerful, the leader, the most iconic. Where he came and got his axe and
sure.
went into Wakanda. You
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was a
saw
good
the
scene.
tides changing and everyone getting hope.
Yeah, because it was like, now we got a big guy.
And I feel
Now we got a boss guy.
Captain went in the back burner. He was kind of minimal.
Yes,
He didn't do
Captain was
much.
kind of, he was there.
He had less screen time. He didn't have a big impact on anything.
No, Thor's impact was bigger. I would say even Mr. Strange's impact was bigger and better.
The Strange fights are great. When he was fighting,
I pretty much liked
Black
every
Maw.
scene from Strange
So
with
Black
Doctor
Maw
Strange.
is kind of Thanos'
Anos.
get with your anal. He's not a sodomizer. He's
What was he? He
alien
sodomized
dictator.
half the galaxy.
That's fine, but
It's fine,
don't
yo.
call him. Give him respect. Okay?
Give it the respect it deserves.
Alien dictator, someone like Thanos needs to be spoken
Sure.
highly of. Anyway, so Black Maw, he's kind of Thanos' brains of his syndicate.
Oh, that was the Mr. Burns Squidward
Yeah,
type
so
character.
Squidward
I liked
guy,
him.
Him and Strange
He was
fighting.
yes, he was really strong and like very much like
So
you
he
know
was more devious.
Yeah,
and had,
devious
like, magic
fucking
abilities. And,
devious like friggin' squid rodent.
yeah, but he was the coolest of Thanos' minions. I
Oh,
think.
for sure. Yeah, he's like
And he's the only one that really had any kind of lines and
yeah, he had any character or any
semblance.
The rest of them were just generic henchmen.
So he was cool. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I liked
Spider-Man,
him.
He dies from getting blasted into fucking space. Like,
Mr. Stark,
really?
I don't feel good.
That
Probably
was
shouldn't
a
have went into
little,
space.
Questionable. But he was the coolest for sure.
Which one?
No, Black Maw.
Oh,
when
yeah.
him
That
and
is that his name? Black Maw?
Black Maw. So the very beginning of the movie, when him and Strange are fighting
In the streets?
Manhattan,
Yeah.
awesome.
That was good.
The movie started off with a bang. The
Big bang.
first
No,
half
there's
hour
no
was
waiting
just
around.
Awesome.
Yeah, I liked all those scenes. Like, you could say the middle of this movie dragged, but it didn't really. I was never really bored during the movie. There was entertainment. Listen, a movie with this many characters, it's hard to not call it a clusterfuck. And when I walked out, I was like, well, it was a bit of a clusterfuck, but not in like a bad way. It was really the most subdued possible way you could have that many like quote unquote main characters in one feature and have it not seem
Overwhelming. Or,
overwhelming and just like a fucking
and of
just
course, they
mess on the screen.
divided everyone because you can't have everyone on the screen at once. It would be just
yeah
too berserk.
they had good partitions where it's like, all right, we're gonna give him time, we're gonna give him time, we're gonna give him time, and then as soon as everybody's had their time, wait, we got to go back to this guy because we haven't seen him in a bit. And it wasn't like there was no point in the movie where I was like, wait, we haven't seen this character yet. You always got back to that character before I said, wait, where is they? We haven't seen them in a while. Whether it be Tony Stark on the fucking planet or in space, or whether it be, Gamora and her issue.
So another character I thought was pretty cool is Nebula. So Nebula was getting tortured. She's kind of this android, another kind of daughter of Thanos.
Yeah,
with the
that was
purple blue
from
hair.
Guardians 2.
Yeah, so she's getting tortured and
Yes, and Thanos doesn't give a fuck about her.
no,
He
he
only
just used her to get to Gamora.
Yes, he only
but
cared about
She has
Gamora.
this like vindictive kind of. Her whole point is to kill Thanos.
Yes,
Which is the majority of the characters in the movie.
naturally they all want to get the Thanos.
But they also gave Thanos a purpose, which I liked, or he kind of wanted to bring semblance to the galaxy.
Well, yeah, because listen, if you want to just have a bad guy, a generic bad guy, you do Steppenwolf. You do what they did in Justice League. You know, who the fuck cared about Steppenwolf? You know, Steppenwolf was just generic bad guy. So in this movie, you have a bad guy, and the best bad guys are the ones that think they're doing good. Because you kind of can see what their point of view is, and there's more character there. There's more depth.
Justification.
There's justification on their end, and they're not just bad for the sake of bad. You see, Apocalypse for X-Men could have been that way, but
it was done right. But it was
if it was done right,
executed horrendously.
yes, the execution and the writing lacked.
But
It should have
even
been a little
just the
more
costume was
deeper.
fucking shit.
He was
He
like,
looked
what,
like
Ivan
an
Ooze? You didn't
asshole.
like Ivan Ooze?
No,
Ivan Ooze, I'll get you, Power Rangers.
1995 movie had a better fucking CGI than X-Men.
Well, it sure did.
And speaking of X-Men, they're delaying it further because of issues with just... X-Men is such a strong franchise that needs to be done right.
Yes. Well, you need good writing, and you need a director with a vision.
But Thanos, as you said, he had a purpose, and some people are like, was Thanos right, you know?
Sure.
He's
Think about it. Is half genocide. I left that theater saying, 3.5 less billion people would probably be all right. We need a new plague.
The plague.
I'm advocating genocide.
Yeah, it's hard to be like, listen, genocide.
Well, maybe when you live in New York City and you got people all over you.
It's a rat-infested shit.
Sure is. When you're driving on the BQE and
I'll be
there's
doing that tomorrow morning.
and there's no movement at all, and you got to get to work.
Indian Uber drivers cutting you off.
Oh fuck! Uber drivers don't give a
nightmare.
fuck. These Lyft drivers don't give a fuck either. Those
But
fucking.
you made a
fucks.
perfect point that Steppenwolf was like some shithead villain. They need a reason to fight people.
Yes, generic villain that you
Whereas
don't care about.
Thanos had a purpose. He had a goal, and in a way, he was relatable to a point where it's like you kind of see.
Yes.
In his own eyes,
his logic.
has a
He has
purpose.
He has logic to his
madness,
his method to his madness. Or it's not just I'm big bad guy, fight me because good versus bad.
And he was overwhelmingly powerful. Like no one could fight him one-on.
No, which is nice too.
You need 8 characters in a very powerful scheme to potentially almost beat him. And then Peter Quill, ooh, my green girlfriend, pussy. Okay.
He fucked it all up.
He
Would
did.
you call that a plot hole? That, like, they needed something to... Because they almost had the gauntlet off his hand. But would you think Peter Quill's character would have actually did that?
I think in the real
Because they were writing that story, and they were like, well, we need a really tense scene where we almost beat Thanos. But how do we almost beat Thanos and then not almost beat Thanos?
In the real Infinity Gauntlet... Well, Infinity Gauntlet is kind of worth a precursor to, but it's more taking scenes from that. Infinity War is just way bigger, way more complicated. But almost everyone's dead. And it comes down to a few guys.
What, in that comic?
In the comic.
Is that a graphic novel or is that a comic?
Graphic novel.
Okay.
It's Jim Starlin.
Sure.
Who created Thanos. And Thanos' appearance is Iron Man 55.
That was his first appearance? What year is that?
I want to say...
Because I remember Thanos' name for a while now.
So
and I'm not a massive comic book guy.
First appearance was the
gotta be over
mid to
25.
late 70s.
Yeah, okay.
I was
going to say, it's got to be 30, 40 years ago.
You got to, don't hold us to it. I don't have a computer in front of me, but I want to say 1976, perhaps.
Okay, I'll
look at first appearance of Thanos.
Yes, that's what I would
It's Iron Man 55, I believe. I own it. So, I don't own the actual comic. I own a reprint. It's a graphic novel called Avengers vs. Thanos, and it has kind of Thanos' beginning, so he fights Captain
Iron Man
Marvel.
55, February of 73.
Ooh, so I got the number right, just not the year.
Yeah. Very good, Sean. It's funny, he looks like, he's big and blue.
So, his first look...
Was he ever in the X-Men TV show?
No.
Or was that just like, am I thinking of Apocalypse? Probably thinking of Apocalypse, yeah.
But if you look at the first appearance of Thanos...
Apocalypse and Thanos look a lot alike, though.
No. So if you look at that first appearance you have in front of you, he looks almost identical to Darkseid.
That's what I'm saying. And that's all these characters look very similar.
They
what
all
came out first?
fight off each other.
They all rip off each other. Because I was a fan, like I remember the Superman cartoon TV show in the 90s, and that was the big bad, Darkseid.
He's very similar to
And
Thanos. He's an alien dictator.
Superman's
that
ass.
kills everyone.
Same shit with Darkseid, yeah.
And if DC had the balls or wherewithal to do something good, they should have did a Darkseid Justice League, because that would have been, a way more cooler.
You think they'll eventually do that though?
He will be the end game.
That's
if
what
they
I'm
ever
saying.
fucking play their cards right.
Good luck.
Listen, Wonder Woman was a smash for them. Christopher Nolan did very well with Batman. The new Batman is curious to see.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm super excited for is the standalone Joker movie, which kind of doesn't... The Jared Leto just never happened, essentially. So DC has his work cut out for it.
Sure.
But people are raving about DC Animated. Came out with this Batman Samurai type movie.
Right.
It's supposed to be killer reviews, amazing, and it's kind of this anime version of Batman, and everyone's raving about it. They said the Joker's absolutely fantastic, and the artwork is surreal.
This is brand new coming out, or
It's gotten rave reviews. It's either out. I think it's coming out, or it just came out recently. You'll have to check on your interweb there, but the reviews are across the board smash hit.
I was just looking up when Darkseid came out, 1970. So he actually came out before Thanos.
They look identical.
They look very similar.
And they're very similar in alien dictator, overlord, godlike abilities.
I guess these guys never heard of copyright infringement.
Well, look, they all bite off each other.
Yeah, I know, it's all bull. Because in the end, it was just comic books were just the means of selling commercials to children, selling ads to kids. They're just like, we need something. Big bad guy, Thanos. And then just make him a big bad alien guy.
Thanos is just a Greek name. There's actually people in Greece named Thanos.
Right,
and
right,
they
right.
sell gyros and hairy chests and hang out in saunas.
Oh,
come
man.
to my diner. You're like, yeah. Thanos' Diner.
Thanos' Diner. That I tell you, that's a great name for a diner. We should open one up.
Diner. It's right on Rockaway Parkway, right there.
Yeah, right there. They got the
best omelet in Queens.
Fantastic gyros. You got to try it. They got good falafel too.
Well, I've recently been eating falafel more. It's
all right.
grow on me.
It's just like chickpea fried, right?
It's a healthier alternative.
Is it? Well, it's fucking fried.
It's
better than
these lamb things.
I was gonna say
like a chicken nugget. It's like this.
It's a shawarma. Well, it's remember it's ground lamb on a stick that they shave off.
I wouldn't even call it ground. I would call it processed.
Well, it's been ground. The process is ground.
You think Hamal at the ferry terminal is getting fresh ground lamb? No.
Well, I mean, it's lamb meat that's been grounded and, just cut it up and then processed. Well, yeah.
Additives.
But, I mean, look at chicken nuggets. That's ground. Like, if you go to McDonald's nuggets,
Yeah,
that's ground chicken.
Chicken
meat.
asshole and, like...
yeah, chicken gizzards.
Gizzards,
yeah,
exactly.
It's all gizzards. Made with 90% chicken gizzards.
I like when a Simpsons show, like, how hot dogs are made. It's like rat tails.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a shoe and like a pigeon.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Or they had like a friggin' a beer. I think it was Doof from Sweden. And there's like, needs more dog. They had like a dog.
He needs more dog. He's swimming.
He's swimming in the
I
vat.
do like the accent of like the complacent brewery worker that doesn't give it. Needs more dog.
Needs more dog.
You see the dog swimming
the dog's
in the vat.
swimming in it. They're churning it.
It's fantastic.
It's quality stuff. So you see, these are the kind of Simpson hits that you little kids, you youngins, you need to go back on.
Many. You can do a compilation.
You can it'll go on and on and on.
It's not even the story. It's just these little antiquotes. It's like Family Guy had the same rationale. It ruined it.
They went overboard with it. See, Simpsons dabbed those in. They sprinkled them in because that need dog scene. It's a cut to them. It's cut to the warehouse, the brewery.
Going to Duff Brewery tour. Yeah.
It wasn't even because I think it was Homer tried Doof from Sweden. No, it wasn't Doof from Sweden. It was because that was just Mo put two dots on the U of Duff. Let me see if I can find it. Needs more dog.
So I heard a very interesting about beer is so apparently German athletes like on the Olympic team.
Sure.
They don't drink water. Okay.
They drink beer.
They drink non-alcoholic beer to hydrate themselves. No,
yeah, isn't that dehydrate? Oh wait, here I have this shot. This will come up.
I don't know this long pause. I don't have the computer in front of you.
Yeah, you need the mic on.
Okay.
Needs more dog.
So yeah, they drink non-alcoholic beer because I guess the carbs.
Oh, it was Red Tick beer. Excuse me.
Red Tick. Perfect with a dog. Yeah.
Red Tick beer. Yeah, for the ticks, I guess.
If people remember, I'm a real I work in the beer industry.
Sean sure does. I got your distributing beer card right in front of me here.
So if people remember, they still sell in jerseys. No longer in New York.
It was banned from New York.
Red Dog. It was
that's very
beer.
Similar to Red Tick dog.
It was huge in the 90s.
Wow, that sounds great.
So when we're
what kind of was that a malt?
No, it was a very cheap kind of. It was like a Miller High Life.
Watery.
Cheap lager to drink. The Red Dog was huge in the 90s. Kind of tampered off, but you can still find it in New Jersey. Beautiful. Good old Garden State.
Beautiful. We're gonna have to go to the Garden State and piss in their garden.
Hey, we're about to get a sponsor. All right.
We're
Retrocade now sponsored by Red Dog.
It's the best damn beer I ever had. Retrocade is sold out. I cannot wait. We've sold out. We're gonna start wearing Red Dog shirts and hats.
Oh yeah.
Sponsored by Red Dog commercials. There'll be 20 commercials in every hour episode. You'll hate us.
You're gonna notice the sound quality is improved. We're stepping up on the equipment.
Well,
here.
yes, without sponsors, but thankfully YouTube is coming through, and we've been able to get a few more bucks for a better equipment. So we'll hopefully keep moving on.
As we
forward.
go on our tangents here, just to reiterate on the Infinity War. Now, a scene that I thought was really one of the most powerful scenes in the movie, but I thought could have been more emotional and done better if it ended differently, was when Thanos stabs Iron Man.
Yeah, I thought he was done for good.
I thought he was going to be dead.
And I was gone. I thought Robert Downey Jr. was taking his fucking hundreds of millions.
Got his last 50 mil.
Got his big fat paycheck. The check cleared, and he was off the set.
And that would have been a very poignant, emotional, powerful scene.
Very poignant.
And then he's, I survived. I'm Strange. That Strange was killing it.
Right.
Then became a bitch.
Yeah, I see. You could have just brought him back in the next one movie, right? You could have had this cliffhang and think he was dead, but they did it with everybody else.
So someone else that bothered me, I'm going to my pet peeves now. Vision. I thought he was lame, annoying.
Yeah, he was pussy the whole movie. He was running away from everybody.
Gay
He was hurt the whole movie.
Like he was weak, annoying, shitty, and
Yeah. And she bitch. What's her name? Red Tail.
I always thought her attractive, but she's
She's
annoying
Elizabeth
'cause
Olsen.
She's like, why are you with this loser, like Android, And I have no. I wanted Vision to die. I was rooting for his death. I thought he was an annoying Android, and he was just weak, boring, and unlikable.
For sure.
So he was a big pet peeve of mine. Another negative aspect of the movie was the Hulk. So,
I mean,
Why?
they have their reasons for that, I'm sure.
what was the reasons? Is he gonna return the second movie?
Yeah. He'll come.
He's in the Hulkbuster.
So I'm assuming you've seen this movie. Don't listen to this podcast if you haven't seen the movie yet, or should you? Or maybe people don't give a fuck and they don't care about spoilers.
Listen, I was late to see the movie, but
That's
at
a
this
while.
point,
You were 3 weeks late.
I was
Son
very
of a
late.
bitch.
I tried to go a couple times and
Needs more dog.
schedule needs more dog. The accents were
Yeah,
purposely,
that's what makes it right there.
keeps it on point.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I thought Hulk was just kind of in the background.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to come out and he didn't want to. And it's weird how they kind of express their relationship between Bruce Banner and the Hulk,
Right.
where they kind of don't coexist. There's one. It's either one or the other.
Uh-huh.
It's like he doesn't have the ability to be like, I'm the Hulk, and then go back to revert to Bruce Banner.
What is your point?
My point is, you need a healthy mix. You can't have all Hulk.
No.
Which, if
You're saying there was too much Bruce Banner.
yes, but if you saw
There's reasons
the
for that,
last
Sean.
Thor,
You
so
can't have Thanos fighting the Hulk the whole movie, because that's what you had. You got it out of the way, because you figured watching this movie, all the fucking Marvel fanboys are gonna be blowing their loads to see Hulk fight Thanos, so they're all like, oh, I can't wait to see this, shoving popcorn and shit and goobers in their face. They cannot wait to see
goobers.
What?
Chili cheese dogs.
Chili cheese dog. I know it's not just goobers anymore. They sent because they're going to the AMC theater or they're going to the what's the other the one that you could eat in.
iPick's the big fancy one.
Which one is it?
iPick. It's
iPick.
Manhattan.
What about there's like the
Alamo's
rodeo.
opened up
What's the
over
one?
Alamo.
Alamo Draft House.
I went to the one in downtown.
You
Brooklyn.
could eat in those, right? Yeah, they have one.
Well,
in Brooklyn.
They're
putting one on the island, Staten Island.
Very excited about it.
Very excited.
They have a no phone policy. And
Yeah.
if they see you on your phone, they give you one warning.
Yeah, that's it.
They see you again, booted.
Yeah, no
So,
cell phones.
got,
You hear that, millennials? You fucks who
So
can't get off your Facebook for 2 seconds.
When you're on a date,
Hold on,
and
let me
your
check my
girl's
Instagram.
on Instagram during the whole movie, she's getting booted.
They're Snapchatting the movie as it's happening. These
So you'd be like, I like the purple
fucks.
guy selfie.
Yeah. Selfie with the purple guy and the little caption.
Oh, yeah, Spider-Man's cute.
Yeah, they got to make sure their followers or their Instagram storying or whatever the fuck they're doing.
It's
You
trash. It's trash.
Fucks. No, but in all seriousness, yeah. So those are good places to go to see a movie. You could eat at the Alamo Draft House, right?
Oh, yeah. So
Oh yeah, get a fucking
nice
full meal
spread.
there.
They have the AMC's in Jersey, which
Yes.
is Applebee's food. Nothing
Yeah.
fantastic.
You saying Alamo's got better food?
Correct.
They also have always these premium drinks. So I'm always seeing guys that go to it, people that go to it, and they always like taking
People,
pictures of, like,
things.
and well, they did like these themed drinks for the movies. Like I know The Last Jedi had one. I think a few. Like they have the themed beverages for the movie, like alcoholic drinks and shit, and maybe themed like appetizers, like the Star Wars lightsaber churros for $13.99
For the Mexican fans there.
for the any of the Mexican American fans that love to eat churros.
Mexican American. See, I guess
Everybody.
politically correct.
I'm gonna build
co-host,
a wall around you. You fuck.
See, build a wall. You'll build a wall for what? Reason, rationale.
All right.
But anyway, the Alamo, what's cool about it is it has these very vintage movie posters from like the 70s.
Yes.
And how it's kind of built has this very 70s vibe to it. It's awesome. Like they do, it's a
I hear
chain.
good things.
It's a chain. So all
Yeah.
the movie theaters have the same look.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal.
And
The
they're gonna-
bars are really cool. It's a really cool bar. Food's great.
right. They have a bar outside the
The theater.
theaters itself.
And
yeah.
it's not like this corporate shill Cheesecake Factory bar. It's like a cool actual bar.
Yeah,
that
they
you
make
would
them
hang out
nice. Yeah.
in.
Like,
got
would
this,
you
like-
go there if you weren't gonna watch a movie? I mean, it doesn't make much sense,
No,
right?
it's like going to a bowling alley to have beers and not go bowling.
People do it.
Not that I go
Pe-
bowling either.
People
but,
do it, Sean.
Yeah, people
Alcoholics
where-
do it.
Arkansas, smoking Newports.
Speaking of which, I was in the Midwest over the weekend. I was at the Northern Invasion festival, and Sean's gonna go take a leak, and I don't want to stop the podcast. So I'll just. Oh, he's getting a beer. Excuse me. I thought he was taking a leak. He was getting his his bedpan ready. I thought he was getting ready to take a leak here. But yeah. Speaking of we said Arkansas. That's not the Midwest, but I was in the Midwest. I went to Minnesota, Wisconsin for the Northern Invasion Music Festival. It's actually very good. This has nothing to do with pop culture, unless you like music. But this isn't really a music podcast.
So you're doing your little filler here.
Yeah, I was filling it up with
so
filler.
how was Tool? Did you
Yeah,
enjoy
I
it?
went to see Tool mainly, Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, Avenged Sevenfold, The
Let's think,
Perfect
Stone
Circle,
Temple,
10
Alice in
years,
Chains.
Asking Alexandria, Black Veil Brides. I mean, the list
Okay,
goes on
okay,
and on
so-
and on.
No one knows those, but Stone Temple,
People know
Alice in
them.
Chains. You just mentioned two awesome bands where their lead singers are croaked on dope.
Croaked on dope.
And now
Well,
you're
Lane
like,
Staley shot himself.
He OD'd.
Oh, yeah, maybe he did.
He OD'd, my friend.
Well, I know he was doing dope, but I thought he ended up shooting himself and was laying in a pool.
I think you're confusing
With Kurt Cobain?
Yes.
Hold on.
Both Seattle dudes.
Yeah, it says heroin overdose, but he didn't shoot himself at all.
No, heroin,
Hold
dope
on, let me
city.
because
I'm telling you. So speaking of concerts, I'm going to see Glenn Danzig
oh nice,
and the Misfits this Saturday.
fantastic.
It's gonna be an awesome show. Which is
Tremendous fan.
interesting is Fred Amistad from Portlandia, as everyone knows, is good buds with Danzig, and is going to be the drummer.
Sure.
But people don't know he used to be a drummer prior to his comedic entrance.
Yes.
And if you ever you see the poster for the concert, it's great. He's wearing a wig, white makeup. It's hilarious. It's awesome. So I'm very excited about that. It should be a really good show. But
Fantastic.
to go back to the Avengers here. Yeah.
I know. Well, I'm very excited for you and your Danzig concert
Sorry, we're
at
not all
the
Tool-
Rock, the
we're not
Prudential
all
Center.
Tool maniacs, okay?
Woo! It was a very good festival though. Long story short, with that, what's happened? The other part of our lives, music. But yeah, that was good. And so, what are your final thoughts for?
I liked it. So I'm curious
This
as
movie.
to what was the end scene credits. I didn't see it.
You didn't stay?
I had unfortunate news of a friend passing, and I
Oh,
had to leave the movie theater. at
when did
that
you see
point.
the movie?
Monday.
Monday. Oh wow, you just saw it.
So I left to take care of more important issues.
Sure,
I
that's
watched
crazy.
the end of the movie, and then I was like, I gotta go.
It was Nick Fury in a car, and then and then there's like I think the car overturns because it's like beef or whatever, and then he starts to fade away, and he does the and then fades away. He fades away.
So there's
too.
no relevance to anything coming. It's
No,
just-
I mean
it's
they
just a Nick Fury cameo.
they shoehorned Samuel L. in there, and that was about it. But
So there's rumors of Captain Marvel, and I don't know.
yeah,
if
they're saying that. I mean, listen, I'm not 100% like fanboy here at all. So I just watch these things as movies, and I like them or I don't. I don't really, but I've been hearing whispers of Captain.
There's rumors on the internet.
But is it gonna be Captain Marvel? It's gonna be female Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Is that what they're
so-
saying?
The Thanos vs. Avengers graphic novel that I own, which shows the first appearance of Thanos in his big 70s books.
Sure.
He inevitably kills Captain Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
but Captain Marvel's a man.
It's a man, baby.
It's a man, exactly. And then with this whole Me Too movement, they like to feminize people and
Sure, you gotta feminize
create
somebody.
woman characters. So
We
we'll
need
see.
strong female heroines, Sean.
Apparently, we do.
Disney, Hollywood, corporate America has to shove their agenda down your throat.
So I think they already ruined Ghostbusters. Now they're gonna ruin.
Is it official? Like, was Ghostbusters ruined? Is that like an official thing 2 years gone now?
Yes, it's buried. It's dead. It says R.I.P. Ghostbusters.
So you're saying there's not going to be a Ghostbusters 2?
1984 to 2016. R.I.P. It's dead. It's killed.
It's gone? It's
gone.
they
Gone.
dead and buried?
So this is
With no chance for resuscitation?
instead of He-Man.
Does it come back as
they're
a
gonna
ghost?
Make She-Man.
She-Man.
They're gonna sell no action.
That would be
figures.
better.
They'll kill He-Man again.
Yeah. Do you think any of these movies sell toys anymore?
Well, I don't want to sound like a fucking pig here, but
You are a pig. You're a fucking filthy,
listen,
alt-right,
filthy pig,
fucking soy boy.
So, speaking of soy boy,
Isn't
we
that a
have
funny
Mr.
line?
Soy boy, yeah. We got Mr. Sheeple Bernie Sanders over here with his
Bernie Sanders, the
ponytail.
billionaires and the sheep hairs
He's
and the
eating his Ben and Jerry's, looking at his Bitcoin.
It's Vermont. I love my
He's
Vermont.
got his compost heat in the backyard.
I don't shit in toilets anymore.
He makes his own organic deodorant.
I was an advocate of Bernie.
An advocate of homemade deodorant as well. So
Wow, it's better than corporate fucking aluminum deodorant. There's
hey,
aluminum in your
pays
antiperspirant.
the bills. Okay?
Sure does. I hope you have stock in
I have stock in progress. Thank you very much.
in Old Spice or whatever you use. Fucking yeah.
So there's another debacle on the rise here.
What's
and
that?
This is something that comes to me and you personally.
Fantastic.
It's Han Solo. What do you think?
Han Solo.
Very-
So the internet. So I haven't really heard about this term soy boy. This is how much I am not part of the Reddit world. But I think this word soy boy is funny. But so they were calling Han Solo movie Han Solo because they're trying to say like, oh, it's still Hollywood, trying to spit their agenda out at everybody there. But I mean, I don't know. So there's a lot of mixed reviews out there. So we'll see. I listened to one the other night. It was the guy from Canada. I forget his name, and he gave it to Last Jedi pretty good. He was not happy with that movie, but he didn't say he didn't like this movie. He was like, but in the end, I mean, he's like, listen, there's good in it. He's like, it really should be the Chewbacca movie. There's a lot of Chewbacca in it. And I was like, all right, that makes me happy. I'll be fine with that. And in the end, he was like, it's good, not great. I'm like, oh, all right. So, and that seems to be word on the street right now. It's tolerable, not great.
So, my question.
I mean, at least it's not an abortion.
$1 million question.
Sure.
Is Jabba the Hutt make an appearance? What do you think?
I don't know. I thought originally, but just based on the non-spoiler reviews I've heard,
Negative.
it doesn't seem so. Although somebody mentioned that there was a bad guy, but nobody's really alluded to Jabba. Nobody's really alluded to Tatooine.
There's no Boba. Well, Fett is after he has a bounty, so they wouldn't even be intertwined.
Yeah, unless like you bring him in the sidelines, like,
But
if you fuck up, we're gonna bring this guy on you.
if they actually had good writers and paid attention to Star Wars,
well, they didn't. They had fucking idiot right. They had the wrong writers.
So as I'm saying,
and
character.
no, excuse me. They didn't have the wrong writers because Lawrence Kasdan wrote this thing, but also he wrote Empire Strikes Back, but at the same time he wrote Force Awakens, and that was a rehash. So he wrote this, but then you had Lord and Miller coming in and making it like a fucking like a joke movie. It was like humorous.
Star Wars is not comedic. It's exactly what I was going to get.
There's humor in it, but it's not. These are not comedies.
What I was getting was a good camera.
These are not like
a good camera they could intertwine with it, which they have a history as a background before they who they were. It was Dengar. Well, if people know who Dengar is, you see Empire Strikes Back, which for me, I'm always big with the aliens and cameos in the background when it comes to the originals.
Yeah, I mean we both are. I love all those like side, especially you. You love like side gritty freak characters, but I do too.
So this scene's very iconic to me and everyone that's seen Empire knows.
I have the figures right there.
When they're on basically when Vader does his big kind of bounty for Solo, he gets all the best bounty hunters in the galaxy.
Yeah, he rounds them all up.
It's literally approximately 3 seconds still of these just very eccentric group of like, what the fuck is that?
A bunch of like creatures,
and there's one human. And this guy's like full of bandages. He's like half cyborg.
Yeah.
So his name's Dengar.
That's Dengar.
And Dengar is in these bandages because Han Solo burned him with a ship exhaust.
Is that what they say?
Correct.
Is that like the backstory to that? Is that canon?
It was canon. God knows
there was a lot of canon.
what Disney fucking expunged, but it's good. I'm a big fan of the embracing the history.
Sure.
And I feel with Disney, they're like, nah, let's sell more, porgs. It's a matter of you got to pay attention to where it came from. And I think they're overlooking this for this millennial Snapchat generation.
Well, I think a lot of it is that they're trying to push their own Star Wars. In other words, like we all love and grew up with this stuff, like
George Lucas.
Yeah, and even the 90s stuff, all the additional stuff or the background stuff, they're putting in their own new shit, own new characters. So they'll they're trying to like you said, porgs instead of Ewoks, and I get it. Like, all right, we haven't seen an Ewok in a movie in a while because, we're not going to go back to Endor anytime soon. But like, yeah, like they're not paying enough maybe attention to other things. Like, and they're doing a lot of things that maybe we're not asking for, like the Solo movie. Nobody wanted to really. I never heard of a diehard fan.
Oh, I want to see Han Solo.
Right.
Yeah, please.
But at the same time, I don't think a casual fan gives a fuck either. But the thing is that if a casual fan doesn't care about Solo, they're of course not going to care about Dengar.
I want to see Yoda. I want to see Boba Fett movie. I want to see an Emperor Palpatine movie. Han Solo, I can give two shits, to be honest with you.
Even a Yoda movie, I wouldn't care. Like, what are you gonna have Yoda as the main character the whole time?
But he's such a mysterious. Maybe it's good to keep him mysterious.
That's what I'm saying. It's good to keep them all mysterious.
Because his race is not even defined.
Do something else, maybe. But the
I think
problem is
Boba
that
Fett would be just tremendous in every way, shape, and form.
Sure, you could do that, but then again, then you have the big wigs at Disney. It's like, well, we're gonna spend $200 million on a movie. We can't do it about a character that the average fan doesn't know about. It's like the average fan or the average non-fan who's just going to see a movie.
If you're gonna do a Boba Fett movie, it has to be in the kind of theme of which they're going into, like not Deadpool, like a deadpan comedy, but in a good Boba Fett movie has a radar. Because his adventures
they're not going to do that.
Torturing people, killing people.
They're not going to do that.
He's a ruthless motherfucker.
Because right off the bat, rated R means less ticket sales. And these movies have such high budgets, they're just not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
You think a rated R Boba Fett movie wouldn't have less ticket sales? I think it would elevate the hype to no end. I think it would be...
I think it's possible. Look at what happened with Deadpool. They took that risk and it worked. But I just think that Disney's not going to take the chance with Star Wars thing. They're keeping it fairly squeaky clean.
I think
except for the Benioff and Weiss, the two creators of Game of Thrones. They're slated to do a Star Wars series, a gritty Star Wars series.
It's going to be on the Disney Network
with
subscription only.
Disney is trying to come out with their own streaming
Prime
service.
Will be called Disney Supreme.
Well, Disney Supreme, they're trying to come out with their own streaming service, so they probably will fucking shove it onto that.
It's become this Netflix universe where streaming nation and get with it or live in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like to binge watch shows. I like to savor it, watch it week by week.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the minority and I'm old
You're
school.
probably the minority at this point. A lot of people binge, man.
I can't binge. I don't.
I do either. I can do either or. It depends on also how much free time I have. I binged the first season of Stranger Things, and it was good. But a lot of times I don't binge a lot of things just because I'm busy with life and I'm distracted.
I have one day a week, which on average, non-football season
Sunday night,
where I can kind of have a little free time.
That's like me. I'll watch whatever little TV that I watch on a Sunday night.
Sunday's my only day where I kind of watch TV.
Because you're not doing the socialized thing on a Sunday night typically.
Week, so enthralled with work.
Yeah,
and then
work.
You get home, you maybe
life
watch
responsibilities.
An hour TV.
Yeah,
Weekend, you have your social commitments.
I haven't even turned on my PlayStation in 3 months because you get busy when you're older. You're gonna get work and other responsibilities.
So I have one day a week where I watch TV for like 3 hours, and that's Sunday.
Yeah.
So I don't,
Yeah, I would on Sunday I would watch like Shameless, and I'd maybe put on like John Oliver or something. Shameless is not is off season right now. Game of Thrones.
I've watched Shameless for the first. I don't know what season they're up to.
7 or 8.
I think I watched it up to about 5 or 6, and then it just got so absurd and ridiculous.
Which parts were you thinking that were absurd? That's a good show.
It just got too off the deep end of unrealistic nonsense.
Like what? Name something.
It's hard to name. It's been about a year since I've watched it, but it's got over the deep end, in my opinion.
I like the show still. I like. I'll watch the next season.
I'm a big fan of Better Call Saul. I think that's.
I only watched the first few episodes. I mean, I was obviously a big Breaking Bad fan.
Me and you, I think we have the same core likes as far as like the big stuff, the Star Wars, and etc. But it comes to like the more linear, obscure things, we go.
Maybe the more the smaller, maybe a little more
characterized stuff. We go very well.
We go differently. Yeah, like Saul's more of a character that probably you would like than I would.
He resonates more with me than
definitely
you.
Resonates more with you.
For sure.
Yeah. I didn't dislike the first few episodes. I just never really found time for it. It didn't pull me much. Like it was the first few episodes were kind of, like riding a bit too much on the coattails of Breaking Bad. Like they brought in, what was his name, Tico? No,
Tuco.
Tuco.
Well, that's part of the lore. So they bring all these characters.
Yeah, they
in,
bring a lot of old characters
Salamancas and all that. It's cool. But
what about what's his name? The Polo Chicken?
Gus Fring.
Gus Fring.
So he shows up in the last season, and he's a big.
Wait, last season the show's not done. That was just the last season.
The last season that aired.
Yeah.
But it's a very cool dynamic of how Saul, who's Jimmy in the show, before Saul becomes an alias after his life kind of goes into shambles. Him and his brother are strange. His brother's a big asshole. He's also like a huge lawyer, and it's cool how there's kind of you see his development to becoming the shithead lawyer that he becomes.
Yeah, that's all about that. Okay. Okay, so we'll try to give a finalization on Infinity War because we've tangent it off a little bit here. But so what's your final?
I liked it a lot. I thought Thanos was very, very well done.
You got a score for us out of 10 or something?
Okay, so out of a 10, I'm going 7.5.
Okay, so that's a 75%.
You know what? I'll give it an 80.
You're giving 80%. Yeah, I'm fine with that range. What does it have on Rotten Tomatoes? Probably is higher than that, but I think I'll give it like a 78%.
Avengers 2, I would give 45. So it's
it's a lot better than Avengers 2.
Fantastic.
Avengers 2, I don't think I could rewatch, because that movie
terrible.
Gets dull and convoluted. This one, however, you like Thanos. You're always interested. It's got 84% on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right, so we got a close perspective there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it like just under 80%. I'll give it like a 78%.
So I gave an 80, you gave a 78. So we're pretty even keel as far as our.
That's been my number.
And that's a strong score.
It's a strong score for how what's it called? It was for how what's the word, Sean? I'm losing you here.
He has dementia. I'm sorry.
For what it did, for how many characters it had.
It's an ambitious project.
That's what I was really ambitious.
Was well done.
For how ambitious it was, it did a good job at that, because that could have easily been an abortion. It could have easily been a fucking clusterfuck disaster that you can give a 40% to or something. So in that realm, it succeeded. The audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is 92%, so the audience really likes it.
Oh no, it's without a doubt a hit.
It's definitely
Thanos
a hit.
is in the limelight. No one ever knew who the fuck Thanos was 3 months ago.
Oh yeah,
he's in the limelight, and I'm glad that he's getting the props he's deserved.
For sure. So the movie. Oh, look at this. Oh my God, this Jim Carrey movie's out. I'm looking at this on Rotten Tomatoes. 0% right now.
I didn't even know he was acting again. I thought he went off the deep end.
It looks like a what's it called? It looks like a crime thriller of sorts. Twisted Crime. Oh, this looks like a real abortion here. 0% already.
Well, there's been zero marketing.
This is an exercise in vulgarity. Was all shameful.
Hey, I'm excited.
A movie that
vulgarity, shameful.
Sean's on board.
Sign me up.
Sean's already friggin' 10 out of 10. A movie that is not just muddled in the conventional ways, but down to its core. Muddled down to its core. A lurid, boring mess. Dark Crimes is dank and dreary and no fun. Stumbles at every turn. It's 0%. Not a single person has given it a positive
The first reviews I like. Now it's got a little downhill.
It's an abortion. This looks like an abortion. When you're 0%, you gotta.
He wants to find his comeback movie, and this is not gonna help.
I don't think he cares about comebacks. You ever see interviews with that guy? He
went off the deep end. He went off the deep end.
He had that. His girlfriend passed away, and he's probably doing a lot of drugs. He don't give a fuck anymore about anything. But yeah, so that'd be interesting. Certainly look out for Dark Crimes coming to a theater near you, coming to an abortion near you. So, all right, to just talk about Solo for one more second, what do you think? There's a lot of mixed reviews.
I'm not excited, to be honest with you.
Not excited at all.
I'd say of the last few Star Wars.
What about Donald Glover?
Is he going to top the original Lando, though? I think
I don't think anyone can top Billy D. Williams with his Colt 45.
Colt 45. He was the epicenter.
It works every time. Now, what did works every time mean? You never allow that in a fucking commercial nowadays, because works every time alluded to like him getting the chicks drunk and banging them. That's what I always thought it was.
It
works every time.
You gotta get it to work.
You give him some of
When
the
it means work,
Colt
it means
45.
your penis.
get a nice erection.
Concerning
Yes.
situations.
We're gonna give the women some Colt 45.
Works.
And
Every time.
gets me laid every time. Yeah, that's what
he has like the Jerry curl. It's
Yeah,
like, he
he's
looks
got
like
that
he's in
80s
Detroit walking around.
80s Jerry curl with his collar popped and yes, scantily clad women around him.
Tried. So at one point, I was working. I was doing home beer distributors in Brooklyn.
Sure you were.
So I had an account in a ethnic kind of poor area
Of
they had
Williamsburg.
No. This was
Brownsville.
Canarsie, Flatbush, Hood, somewhat. Not Canarsie or Flatbush, but
Sure.
they had Colt 45 orange flavor.
Oh man.
So I was
it was
curious to try.
Was it like a malt soda?
Malt soda, but Colt
That's what I
it's
figured.
Colt 45.
How much sugar must that have in it? Remember they used to. What was the one that used to? Was it St. Ides that used to make the flavored ones?
Yes.
Oh fuck, those things were
I had
filled
some
with
good
sugar.
memories with those. When
I
I
had
was
some.
about 16,
You had
17
memories
years
with
old.
those? How did you not black out? Yeah, I know. I've had a few
17
of
is
those in
the
my day.
pink
No, I
one.
know.
Special brew. That was the name.
That special brew.
Special.
Yeah, I see. I avoided those because those would make me fucking sick because they're the sugar. They had to have 150 grams of sugar to mask this taste.
They still exist in the very deep hood.
You gotta go to the certain spots to get special brew.
You gotta go like in the hood. I was in
St. Ides 40s were terrible.
I had to do
Old
something-
English 40s were terrible.
East
Colt
New York,
45
East
was
New York,
terrible.
I saw special brew still sold in East. It
You should have
exists in
picked
a
some
very
up.
small
Next time, pick some up, Sean. Pick up a couple
We
special
gotta do
brews.
a Retrocade special brew.
Retrocade special brew podcast episode.
So anyway, I'm buying this orange Colt 45, and
Sure.
as I'm buying it, well, I didn't buy it for free actually. It's one of my accounts.
Whatever.
The owner. So I'm in this area. This woman is buying a King Cobra 25-ounce can for $1.25.
That's a bargain.
Cheaper than water. So as she buys the can,
Cheaper than Dasani.
in her filth, leaves. I'm chatting with the owner, joking around. He goes, "This fucking bitch left her crack pipe."
Oh, no
at the
way.
register.
No way.
So the Colt 45 King Cobra consumer had left her crack pipe. At the
Did you
cash
run
register.
down? Excuse me, ma'am. You forgot your
You
crack
left
pipe.
this.
You left your crack pipe and your.
Yeah. So
That's funny and
it's
terrible.
The
and
inner,
disturbing.
the inner.
It just goes to
Brooklyn
show you
dynamics.
that's the clientele that. What was she buying? That she was not
King
special
Cobra.
brew. King Cobra. Okay. What about Steel Reserve? Does that still exist?
Still exists again.
That shit was rough. What was that, like 9%? That was a fucking malt
It's
beverage.
Heavy time malt.
Oh, fuck.
I have a memory actually hanging out with you in the roof of Perkins.
That sounds about right.
She's now at Danny.
Now at
Denny's,
Denny's.
correct.
Denny's, yeah. Yeah,
And
there used to be a
drinking-
space we would go on that roof.
40s. Approximately 16.
Steel
I was
Reserve?
probably 17 years old.
Yeah, it was like summer 06, 05.
Got so
Well, you probably maybe, yeah,
wasted,
sure.
like lost my fucking wallet, like blacked out, just dead.
What'd you drink? 2 Steel Reserves?
240s.
That'll do you.
And I was probably at that
Because you're
point-
drinking them fast. You fucking.
And at that point in
forget
time,
it.
I was probably 120 pounds. So
Sure. You didn't have the tolerance that you have today, drinking your Bud Light Lime.
All
That's
right,
what I'm
Mr.
drinking.
Starbucks.
I am drinking a
with his
coffee.
Freaking ponytail over here.
Fuck you. This is my own Nespresso, by the way. It's just in a Starbucks cup. But,
Cheap hipster. There you go.
budget conscious.
So
Yeah,
Deadpool
good times.
There's some hype around this. Got good reviews.
Yeah, it's got some decent reviews.
T.J. Miller.
You like your crazy friend?
What's your opinion on T.J. Miller?
What fucking? I think he's fucking a degenerate. What do you want me to think of him?
but
What's my opinion
I'm
of
gonna
him?
tell you something. Is he a crazy asshole? Correct.
Yes, he is.
But I enjoy the show Silicon Valley, which is an HBO show
Yes.
about
Silicon
Valley.
fucking nerds. Yeah.
So it's always like computer programmer type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in. This is season 5. He was in the first 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
They had his kind of drug drinking episodes, and they kicked him off.
Right. Yeah, we talked about this in the last episode.
Oh yeah, but the
Is there any new information on it?
No, what I'm saying is, Deadpool. They're like, we don't know if we want to keep him on the next movie.
Uh-oh. But they kept him on, right? He's in the new.
He's in
this-
it.
He's in it.
And what I'm saying is, he's awesome. He suits a role that's needed in these type of projects.
Mm-hmm.
You need a eccentric asshole. It adds
Sure.
creativity and
Yes. Yeah, sometimes you need a
Good character
foil.
blend. You
Yeah,
understand?
little character. He was in Ready Player One, as I've explained in the
Yeah, we discussed this in an episode or two
the
ago.
last episode. Yeah.
But sometimes you need the bad guy to make things interesting. That's
Yeah.
what I.
Why, he was a bad guy, or he was just like a side asshole?
Nah, he was like a.
In for Deadpool. Wait, he was in Deadpool 1? I don't even remember.
He was like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
bartender guy.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like his boy.
Yes.
And he's kind of his like civilian friend. That's kind of his role.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, give him another chance, fucking degenerate. What an idiot. Fucking bomb threatening on a subway.
You know what? Some people can handle fame differently. They lose their
Or
fucking
alcohol,
mind.
for that matter. Some people can't hold alcohol or remember their alcohol. Yeah, some people are fucking idiots. Yeah. But no, I think Deadpool 2 will be good. I'll probably enjoy it. The first one's good. It's got a good rating on Rotten Tomatoes right now, 87%.
Look at Josh
It comes out. It's out already, right?
I believe
It says
it
out
comes
today, tonight.
No, it comes out this weekend.
So it's out tonight because I'm looking at it right now. It says out
Look
at
at Josh
8:30
Brolin.
p.m. at the Atrium. Let's go fucking see it. It's already
Josh
out.
Brolin.
What about him?
Thanos and Cable. He
Wait.
plays Cable. in
Oh, he
Deadpool.
does. Yeah, it says. You say he's the bad. Wait,
He's the
Cable's the bad guy?
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Cable,
I see the picture of him. Yeah.
I'll give you a little backstory on Cable, just a brief synopsis here.
Go ahead.
So he's Cyclops' son from
Mhm.
X-Men lore,
Yes.
and within the comics, he plays this kind of time traveler.
Right.
He has different mutant abilities, but he's known for his gun, essentially. He's just kind of badass vigilante from the future. And he kind of lives in this kind of post-apocalyptic time where mutants are hunted and the world's kind of went to shit.
Right.
So that's his kind of generic story, and he has this kind of weird cybergenetic eye. You don't know if his eye got killed. You never know why his eye's all fucked up. But he has this kind of like robotic eye. He has like big scars on his face. He's basically like a cyborg Rambo, if you will.
Right.
But he's always been badass and cool looking, silver hair, very gaunt kind of. Some guy, if you saw him, you'd be like, oh shit.
Right.
So that's Cable for in a quick synopsis there. But it's a cool villain, and Brolin plays him. Apparently,
Yes.
Brolin does a killer job.
Brolin's been doing good. He did a good job with Thanos. So
Awesome voice. Brolin's
good
the
voice,
man of the
good
hour right
face.
now, and let's I support it.
yeah, support it fully. What do you think of one guy playing two characters in the same universe? Not the first time it's happened, but
Well, if you think Chris Evans played
Flame On. Yeah, I know.
and Captain,
I know. That's what I'm
they
saying. And
both
it's happened.
aggressively lame.
Both of them.
Well, again, we don't want to talk about the abortions that are the Fantastic Four.
That movie was an abortion.
If Fantastic Four is such.
Sometimes abortions are funny to watch, but they're fucking a sad crash and burn, and that was a sad crash and burn.
The sad thing is, Fantastic Four is in such disarray that Marvel's not even printing the
They're
comics
not even.
right now.
What can you
Comics
do? Nobody.
are on ice.
They're on ice until you get somebody to fucking clean up that fucking
And the
clusterfuck.
saddest thing to me is Doctor Doom's fucking awesome, and he's the
Could have
integral
been.
villain. He's one of the coolest.
I know
villains in
you
the
really
Marvel
like him
universe.
as a villain. Yeah.
I love the Dictators.
I remember seeing the interview with Josh Trank, who was going on saying he was like, literally, he's quite possibly the best supervillain ever made, and I'm like, I guess he's all right if you do him right in a movie, but
You heard it here.
it's I mean the way that they were going it, they were they called him Victor Von Doom, that's his real name, and it just seems a little clunky,
Episode
but
28.
you'd have to be
I
really
liked
sharp.
Thanos before he was big.
We
You heard
know.
it here. Episode 28, Retrocade.
Sean's
Doom
marking
is-
it here.
Doom is the Marvel future. You're gonna see him in the next 10 years, and he's gonna blow
You
up.
think they're gonna come back and do something
He's
with
gonna
that?
blow
They're
up.
gonna need somebody competent to do these things, Sean. You think Hollywood's got it in him?
That I doubt. There's a bunch of fucking schmucks. and
Nothing but
overpaid
fucking soy milk drinking
soy milk
cucks.
Cucks, exactly. They watch their girlfriend get banged by BBCs, all right?
Go on the subreddit, Sean. Even the YouTube comment sections are just like this. But so we'll see about that.
So I'm gonna cap the show off with one big.
Well, I have a
announcement.
few more little things to sprinkle
I have
in.
a big announcement. I want
Go ahead, you got a
to
big
discuss
announcement.
that we could talk about, and probably cap the show off because there's so much to talk about this.
So okay, you want to talk about it?
So,
Sprinkle this in now. Okay.
Nintendo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Are we going to talk about this? Is the Pokemon thing we're talking
Yeah,
about?
huge announcement.
Yes, this was one of the things I wanted to talk about.
They're gonna make. Basically, they're done making the handheld pokes. They're
Yep.
throwing it.
That's
on
what they
the
said. Well,
Switch.
they said no more for the 3DS as of right now, and they're gonna make it for the Switch. which is still
This
handheld.
is a huge, ambitious project. They want to do an open world, and what I read, it's very vague. This is probably minimum 2 years before development, at least release. Minimum, in my prediction.
So
Could be 3. Nintendo doesn't fucking rush shit either.
take their time.
Nintendo doesn't rush it.
Great, we'll fucking see a new Pokemon. We're 40 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's my Pikachu? Can I trade you, Sean? What's
that
now?
We're gonna be at Retirement Castle in Springfield.
Yeah, exactly. Springfield Retirement
You'll
Castle.
be Abe Simpson. I'll be the guy with the beard.
You'll
Steve
be.
will Hans
That's a
Moleman.
paddling. Yeah. I'm Hans Moleman.
And oh shit, Kanto. All right.
Kanto.
What they're gonna do? Focus on the 151.
I need to use my rare
But
candy.
this is the thing. They focus on the 151. I don't know what the number is at this point, but it's gotta be
the
about
full number?
600.
It's got to be 600 to 800, right? It was like 600. I looked like 7 years ago because I was wondering, and it was like 700-800. It's got to be like 1,000 now, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is, like, nostalgia-wise, I don't give a fuck about any of these newer fucking characters.
Gold, silver still resonates with me.
Yeah,
After
like
Gold,
that,
silver,
like
it was the end for me.
yeah, like cause I know, like I'll look at them like, oh yeah, Lugia, or oh yeah, for alligator. Like I'll like remember
for
those.
alligator.
Like
I
I'll
would've
remember
topped
those
8
names.
SDS1. Jap for alligator. If I told the judge start of the game, I need translation, I would have won and topped it.
I lost for alligator in the top 2 of the East Coast STS instead of a 5,000 person event. You could look me up on the internet. I think those pictures are off the internet, but I've saved them. I think the website that had the pictures up are finally gone.
You know,
But I was number 2. You could look me up on the.
we in our prime, we were expert Pokemon players. Something
Well,
to brag about.
have we ever said that on the podcast? That I was the number 1 ranked Pokemon player in the world. I don't think we've ever said it.
Hey, I did. I wasn't too shabby in my tournament shows.
Sean's rating was in the top. You might have been top 20. I like these were certified rankings. Yeah, DCI rankings.
Magic, we didn't.
We're talking about we were so young though. Like Magic,
we were about 12 years old.
It was different. Yeah, we're talking 12, like 11, 12, 13.
And this is when the game just came out, so we're the pioneers.
Right, but exactly. We were pretty much the American pioneers of the Pokemon trading card game. But like Magic was a different story because you had real serious adults playing a seriously competitive game, like as a career. You know, they were professionals. So like obviously we weren't at that level yet. But if we kept playing,
about 5
different
years
story.
ago, I tried to buy some like pre-made Pokemon decks to play with my cousin, just as like a niche kind of fun thing to do.
Sure.
And the game was so different.
Oh yeah, the card game. Yeah, they've changed it up quite a bit.
Lost.
Yeah, there's a lot of extra stuff going on in that game.
It was like it's like playing. It's equivalent of playing like Beta Unlimited and then playing now.
Magic Now. You'd be like, what the fuck?
I was just completely lost. Just all these abilities, I had no idea what was going on.
Yes.
These different evolutions. I was fucking lost. It was a different game.
It's funny because I was talking to my friend Pete maybe 2 weekends ago. Yeah, not the weekend that just passed, the one before that. And we were talking about the original theme decks. Remember they had Zap and Overgrowth.
All right, let's talk about. I don't remember the names. I remember the Hollows. Okay, so there's the Gyarados.
Gyarados was for Overgrowth.
Hitmonchan
was for Punch Out. Let me see them.
There would be 2 colors.
Yes, it was 2 colors.
And it was such awesome packaging. Like it drew
beautiful.
you in.
That's why I was telling him. I was like, I gotta rebuy those. They're expensive on eBay too.
They go $100.
70 a piece, give or take 50 to 70.
Dude,
but I wanted them sealed.
It's so
They're
funny.
beautiful packaging.
I just remember this now.
Gorgeous.
I'm like excited to remember this.
Yeah, they're beautiful
and they came
original
with these
packaging.
Little glass beads for damage counters.
That's right.
And they had these holographic Chansey coins. Am I right? Were they Chansey?
Yeah, little Chansey flip coin. That was terrible. It was not. You needed a real quarter because I think it was shit. But yeah, you had Blackout, which was water and fighting.
So name the Hollows to me, and I'll.
Okay.
Name the Hollows.
Well,
this is exciting because I just remember.
Sean's
these
excited.
decks vividly, and they were like a lot of fun. I remember buying the Hitmonchan one. I remember buying
that was Blackout, which was Hitmonchan.
Was that water and
water and fighting?
All right.
Water and fighting. Okay, then we've got Brushfire.
Okay, this has to be grass and fire.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Who was the hollow? I don't remember. Nidoking?
No, it's a fire one.
Well, it's not Charizard. That was the big boy.
No. You got 2 seconds. 1.
I can't. It's not
You don't remember Ninetales?
Oh, Ninetales sucked in the cards.
Overgrowth, you already said Gyarados, which was blue and green. And then there's Zap, which was lightning and psychic. So who was the hollow in that?
Oof, good question. It wasn't Alakazam.
No. You would think it might be Alakazam, but it's not. It's one of the other big boys of the Psychic.
Give me it's a Psychic.
I'm telling you, it's Psychic.
It's not Hypno. Oof, I'm not right.
It's a big boy.
Big boy Psychic.
Yeah. It's big.
Mewtwo.
Yeah. I mean, I had to hint to that a bit, but yeah, I mean, you don't get much bigger than Mewtwo for Psychic.
No, those decks.
They're cool. They're beautiful. If you want to take a look over here, and then you had the Pokemon trading card deck, which the starter deck, and that came with
first edition.
Naturally.
That's a given. Everyone knows Machamp.
Everybody knows that Machamp came in the thing. But here they are, yeah. Very nice.
You gotta throw that on the page.
Throw that on the page. I want to rebuy those. They're so beautiful. And then they're showing you the next ones.
Was there a jungle?
Jungle and fossil.
What was it? I only bought the
originals. The originals were the ones that really mattered.
After the original, we were so advanced.
Exactly, because we didn't look at starter decks. Yeah, that was the original ones when the game was in its infancy and everything was so rare and stuff. We needed those cards.
To learn how to
exactly,
play.
We needed the tokens. You need everything. But like Sean said, by the time that Jungle came out, that we were so far gone. It's like I don't need a starter deck. Just give me packs. I'll need a booster box at this point. Because you're not like they're not going to do enough for you at that level of playing the trading card game.
I think a set. I stopped playing after Neo was the last set I played. Pretty much Neo, the gyms. One set I really enjoyed that was a pretty crappy set, but I love the artwork. Was
Which one?
Team Rocket set.
Team Rockets had good, exactly. They had good
I thought
artwork.
the artwork was
they had good stylized,
the set
artwork.
Overall was pretty underwhelming.
Lackluster, like
shit.
Team Rockets this, Team Rockets.
They all had like low HP because they got like beat up by Team Rocket.
They're like side shits.
And all the Pokemon were like depressed.
Depressed Pokemon. Team Rocket's Charizard was like a piece of shit compared to the regular Charizard.
Team Rocket Dragonite was like had like 90 HP.
I don't even remember what it looked
joke.
like. Yeah, but the
artwork was the best.
Yeah,
my favorite artwork of any set.
It was a nice stylized artwork.
It was very Jap-centric for sure.
Yes, very Japanese style at the time. Yeah, here's Dark Dragonite. They called it Dark Dragonite, not Team Rocket's Dragonite. So it was Dark Dragonite. Only had 70 HP. And
for a Dragonite.
For Dragonite, which had a more. And the original Dragonite at least had 100 HP. And its move was Giant Tail. Flip a coin. If tails, this attack does nothing.
Why would you ever play that card?
These cards are fucking useless. Its Pokemon power was summon minions. When you play Dark Dragonite from your hand, search your deck
this is
for up to 2 basic Pokemon opponents.
Summon
minions Pokemon power actually isn't that bad. But people are gonna be like, what the fuck does that mean? But anyway, the original decks are cool, and if you remember when the Pokemon first set came out.
When you mentioned the theme decks.
Yeah. You remember,
it's something that just was removed from my memory.
And then you bring it back.
And
the artwork of the boxes were beautiful, and just see because they were so. That was when the game was in its infancy, the trading card game, and they were hard to get.
Go to GameStop.
Yes,
and, they would sell out
instantly.
I
got the Pokemon theme deck at like a random I don't know if it was a toy store. It was like a toy store in like Westerly or something. I don't know if you know. It was like a small shop, and somebody at school tipped me off that there was. The Pokemon deck was there.
You get a tip. This place got caught.
Exactly, and you go there. You had to rush to get there.
If you didn't go the first day.
Forget it. They were gone.
Sold out.
But I would always fucking beg and go that day, and so I was where I got the Pokemon.
So you just wore your mom down, just begged.
Please, we have to.
Begged her and wore her down.
Yeah, and that was important. And so where I got my theme decks was the Tyson's Cards and Gifts on Highland Boulevard. And I think Michael Bennett would tip me off to that because he didn't, he lived with it.
Lives in Japan.
Lives in Japan now.
If he is.
Is he listening to the guest? Yeah. So shout out to Michael Bennett. I believe he might have mentioned that Tyson's Cards and Gifts, and that was where I bought Zap, and presumably either Brushfire or Blackout at that place.
Blackout at
Zap. I think was probably the first one I bought.
I bought Blackout at Babbage's.
Yes, well, that's another reason why this conversation brought up because I was walking through the mall. I'm walking through the mall with my coffee, and then my boy Pete calls me, and he starts talking about Pokemon, and I'm like, "Oh, look, I'm in front of GameStop right now." I was like, "What would this used to be?"
There was no games. Oh, you mean now?
This was 2 weekends ago.
Cell phone, either of those things.
No, this is 2 weekends ago. But my friend Pete calls me and was like, it starts talking about Pokemon, and I was like, "Yeah, remember when Babbage's was here in Pokemon?" And then we came to the point that Babbage's became
and
bad.
They bought
GameStop.
Funko, if you don't remember.
And they bought Funko Land. Sure, of course.
I had a very fine.
And also Game Champ, if you remember what Game Champ was.
Yeah, it was more of a regional thing.
Yeah.
Game Champ was a Staten Island thing.
Probably,
But Funko, to me, Resident Evil the most.
Sure,
I had
me
the
too.
most experience
Remember
with
the Funko Land that was on Forest Avenue?
Well, that's where I used to go.
That was where I used to
I
go.
lived in West Brighton.
Sure, so you weren't too far away from that. It was right on in
where
the corner.
Western Beef is.
The Western Beef lot in that corner spot. It's like a Verizon or AT&T store now or something.
It's a cell phone store.
It's a cell phone store now, yeah. But exactly, the Funko Land, if anybody remembers what Funko Land was essentially the GameStop of the 90s. And I remember going in there like mid-90s, like 94 or something.
So
it was before
7 years old.
Before and 64. Yeah, before it was before Super Nintendo era. Exactly.
Prime.
And I remember seeing a cartridge for Ghostbusters on I think either the NES.
It had to be NES.
It was NES, and I was like, and like it was a big deal for me. But I eventually ended up getting the Sega Genesis Ghostbusters.
They came out as Sega was a little
that
better.
one's actually very good. Actually, that game's still playable. I have
the
that on my.
NES one's actually really bad.
That's exactly. I'm happy I didn't play it. I would have probably been
rented
disappointed.
it
Yeah.
I think it was called Palmer Video.
Of course, Palmer Video.
And
it was Palmer, then West Coast, then they
So,
dumped, and then it
I
was
late
Blockbuster.
to, like,
They're
the
all gone now.
first NES game. So I had NES for the longest time. So I was
Sure.
about, 6, 7 years old.
Yes.
Go in the video store. It's so nostalgic talking about this shit.
Of course.
I'm with my dad renting a movie for the weekend, and I peruse the video game section. I see Ghostbusters game.
Hmm.
You just see that symbol, and you're
Sure.
like, I need to play this right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I rent the game. I played all weekend. I'm 6 years old. I completely suck. I probably get past the first level once. But I thought it was awesome. Like, I was really excited. Like, it was like the funnest.
This is Ghostbusters.
for
NES. That's an overhead view game, right? Oops, I got my iPad going off here. It's an ad. I can't stop it. But go ahead. But
No, so I just remember renting it as a little kid. Never owned it. I rented it for one weekend, and I remember playing it when I'm again probably in first grade or something. I thought it was the coolest fucking shit.
it was overhead view. I didn't hear you.
So they had like different. There's one where like you're driving the.
That's what I'm saying. With the driving
There's
was
another
overhead
one where
view,
you're, like,
right?
Going in like an apartment and
Yeah.
all that. The game overall,
The gameplay sucked.
I saw
though,
it again
right?
like 20 years later. I'm like, this is trash.
Yeah.
But as a 6-year-old,
It was a
especially at
shit.
the time,
Yes.
this is the early 90s, where
I just
I
remember
thought it
seeing
was-
the cartridge, like the box for it on the and yeah, because you see the Ghostbusters, Ghostbuster game, and I was a huge fan of Ghostbusters, so it was like a massive deal for me.
That's how we initially bonded in second grade. Was
Yeah,
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. That was the first thing me and Sean
Sat at the
bonded.
same table or some shit like that.
Yeah, we just started talking about Ghostbusters on it. But here's all the decks. I'll put them
Oh
on.
man, this is fucking sweet.
I want to rebuy them because they just like look at the artwork and the
I just love the
stylization of everything.
packaging. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like oh man,
Looks
this
pretty.
Is awesome seeing.
They
this.
look beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I own Black Eye. I bought for sure.
I mean, I think I eventually had them all.
As soon as you see Overgrowth, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, you see Ivysaur, and you're like, oh, Venusaur in it? No.
No. You just get Ivysaur. You needed to
Ivysaur-
get Venusaur from the packs, or they did make one for a magazine, which was so stupid of
But
them.
it wasn't the same Venusaur.
It wasn't the same Venusaur. You're
And
right.
It was a weaker version.
Was it a weaker version?
No, so that Venusaur.
I would love to
was
get all the promos again. You see, you're gonna make me end up wasting money here and buying all these
That
things.
Venusaur was from the Pokemon
Guidebook.
Player's Guide.
But these idiots, they
Pokemon-
didn't wrap the magazine in plastic, so people would go into the store and the card was just like in the magazine
And
with like
people ripped
ripping them all out. So you would go through them every magazine and they were all gone.
Yeah, I'm sure you stole like 10 of them.
I never got. No, I eventually got my hands on it, but I remember because
I had to buy
I
one.
love the artwork of that one.
It's a nice one.
Yeah.
It's an artwork from like a package, like a booster box package.
Yes, it's the Ken Sugimori
Ken
artwork.
Sugimori is the most famous Pokemon
Yeah,
card artist.
because the other one.
Pokemon artist period of all time.
Yeah, because the other artist was Mitsuhiro Arita, and I actually liked Ken Sugimori's artwork better
Ken
because it was the
Sugimori is
original.
the
It was
famous
like you said, it was on the box artwork. So like that was like that's it. That's the artwork. But the original Venusaur's move had Solar
You
Beam.
brought up a good point.
Hmm.
You couldn't get this. At this point, I'm collecting every promo. We went to
That
Pokemon
promo was
League,
hard
which
to
they
find.
handed out in Pokemon League, you go to a Toys R Us,
Yes.
play tournaments, and then give you once a month a different promo card.
Yes,
That was exclusive.
exclusive. Yes, that was always a big thing.
So
Yeah.
I'm collecting them. I'm into it, and because he said you couldn't get the Venusaurs from the players' guides.
Very hard to
remember,
get.
Actually, this is why I created an eBay account.
1999, I created my eBay account because of Pokemon. Because of the Jigglypuff. You did for the Venusaur? I did mine for
I
Jigglypuff.
tried buying the guys and
Couldn't
they
get.
were gone.
Well, what I remember, we were at the Toys R Us on Richmond Avenue for a Pokemon League. It was me, this kid David Coran, and there was another dude that we were talking. I say dude.
Stole my deck.
Yeah, he probably listens to the podcast. But there was like a 16-year-old kid there. He looked like he was fucking 20, and I'm like 12-year-old kid. And we were talking about that promo. It was very rare to get. And he was like, "Listen," he's like, "I'll tip you off." He's like, "The Kmart around the block has the magazine. Go there." And we went, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And it was walking distance, so we went. And that Toys R Us is obviously closing, but
Kmart is no longer. Oh, Kmart's done.
Kmart's done completely in general, pretty much. But that Kmart's not a Target.
That's a Target.
It's a Target, yeah.
Correct.
So we walked across the street to go, and we went to the game section, and we said, "There's the magazine," because even the magazine was kind of hard to find. And then we went through there was like
player's guide. It was like
player's guide.
$12 at the time.
Yeah, it was like a $12 player's guide for the game.
10-year-old, you're like $10 for a stupid
yeah,
book.
fuck that. And but again, what the magazine itself was not in a plastic wrap, so you could just open the magazine, and the card was just stickied.
It was like a tiny piece of glue.
That little glue sticky,
Yeah.
that, and you just peel it off, and you get the card. And so I was like, "Oh, look, they had a ton of magazines. They must have had like 15 of them." And I was like, "There's got to be one." And of course, if somebody takes one, they're gonna take them all. We went through all 15 of them. There was not a single one left. But I eventually got the card. I don't remember how, but probably through eBay or trading.
That player's guide was for Pokemon trading card game for Game Boy Color.
Yes.
And I remember the Game Boy.
The game came with the Meowth. Yeah,
Meowth
I actually downloaded that game for my SNES Classic, the little mini SNES Classic.
Meowth was such a cool.
That
card.
was a cool one too.
Beautiful artwork, and at the time it had the Japanese foil. Which
Yes, the shinier foil. It was extra shiny.
So that was the first.
That was a big deal.
Foil, which was like awesome at the time, because when you had the Jap foils, they had a different.
Yes,
foil
they had it was a more shiny foil, like it had more sprinkles in it or whatever. It had more shinies. Here's a picture of it right here.
Oh, that's such a beautiful card. I love
beautiful card. Yeah, that's actually I remember buying that game. I bought
I played
for
the
Game
shit
Boy.
Of that game though.
Me too.
Fun.
Well, we knew how to play the card game, so a lot of
I beat that game.
Smoked that shit. Yeah, so you see other people like.
There was a weird character.
I was playing it the other night on the SNES Classic 2 weekends ago.
You gotta mod my shit.
I'll mod yours.
Play that on my TV.
I can mod yours very easily. Yeah, it takes me about 20 minutes. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it over.
No, because I have everything on that little SNES Classic.
I would love to play
Super Genesis game. I've been playing Pokemon Blue on it. I'm halfway through the game.
Please mod my.
Yeah, it's great. I have everything.
Pokemon trading card game on my SNES.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Yeah, I have every game. I have Super Nintendo, NES, Game Boy, and Genesis. And you could even put more stuff on it.
I'll bring it over.
Yeah, it's great.
I'll buy a few beers at the bar.
It's got like everything. It's a very
take
clutch.
Like an hour to do it.
Well, now I have like the setup for it on the computer, so I just do the plugin setup, and I should be able to.
I think it just takes time to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, which I've done already. Now I just like you gotta go redo it.
Mod my shit. I'll give you a list of games. I'll buy a couple beers at the bar.
We'll do. Yeah, it's sick. But yeah, I guess we go on this tangent for a while. Now I want to rebuy all these fucking promos because they look so pretty.
The promos are the best.
Yeah.
I used to have the vending machine promos. Did you remember those, the glossies?
Yes.
And they had
they were okay.
That's the most outrageous and cool artwork.
Oh yeah.
And they did all the weird ones. They did like the fossil Pokemon and like gold. They always did these strange Pokemon for those promos.
Sure. I wonder if there's like a full promo set on eBay. I don't see it. Oh, it's funny because non-foil promo is going for Mew is going for $1. $1 even. Can't even make money.
We had hundreds of those.
I have hundreds of those still. I have a binder of them. The binder of Mews. But let me see that Pokemon trading card game. What was it called? The one that the Venusaur comes in.
Player's Guide.
Yeah. I wanna.
Venusaur promo.
Yeah. Because I was like a green magazine or a thing, right?
It was just the Player's Guide.
It was the cover. It was green, I think. Like.
No, I think it was blue, like
really?
Pokemon blue.
Might have been.
In
my mind, it's green. I can't find a picture of it. Oh wait, maybe this is it. Does it come? Does it say?
What's
it comes
the Venusaur go for on eBay?
Hold on, let me see. Oh, this is it. Look! It says free Venusaur inside. It was blue, Pokemon Blue. Yeah,
that's what I remember.
That's the one. Yeah. Wow.
I never bought it because, as I said.
No, I didn't buy it either. There was no need to buy it anyway.
I think at the time.
Free Venusaur inside.
I think at the time I spent like $20 for the Venusaur.
Probably that was give or take what it was worth. That's like. It's funny because it was
for
worth more than the.
Show, that's like my.
It's a couple
budget.
shekels right there.
That's my budget.
Venusaur promo. Yeah, I would love to rebuy all these things, but we're going on a bit of a Pokemon tangent here. But see a few of the issues with the Switch game is that they're gonna do a lot of things that Pokemon Go did. Like you catch Pokemon like you did in Pokemon Go, which I'm not really on board for and shit.
Now I want open world.
Open world traditional Pokemon. I was saying that in one of the group
I
chats.
don't want to like walk around playing with stupid phone.
No, I don't need. Yeah, like we did that already. And the novelty wore off. Obviously, nobody's playing Pokemon Go anymore, really. But I would love the old school Pokemon game, just fucking, hyped up for the 2018 fucking century.
They're gonna sell a billion copies
if they do it right. But I'm hearing all this stuff. They're
right.
RPG. Well, it's starring Pikachu, but I hope like they're. The
Pikachu
rumors
and
saying
Eevee.
they're going to do it like Pokemon Go. But don't you want to fight the Pokemon that you try to catch? Don't you just want to throw Pokeballs at them?
I'm 30 years old. A, I don't have time to walk around.
Sure.
B, I'm embarrassed to walk around.
Oh, you mean well, maybe not that the augmented reality kind of walking around, but I meant like just like they said with catching Pokemon, it'll be like Pokemon Go. How Pokemon Go, you didn't fight the Pokemon, you just threw balls at it. You got to do the combination.
Terrible.
You got to fight it to wear it down, then you throw the balls at it. Hold on, Sean trying to cut me off. What do you got to use the bathroom?
No, just
You think this is you're screwing up the mic there, Sean? You don't talk into the end of it. You talk into the front of it like this.
you don't wanna
Yeah, I
see
can't hear you, Sean.
how it works.
You're fucking the whole thing up. No, you're talking it the wrong way. No, the upside down. Yeah, talk
right,
there.
all right,
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
much better. Fucking
Zig
guy,
high,
you
1,
fucked
2.
the whole thing up. I'm gonna fix it. All right, so we went on our big Pokemon tangent. I'm sure we're all very excited to see the
Our
new.
majority listener is a Pokemon fan.
For sure, because that's the age range.
And show that artwork.
Our
'cause
average
some of
age
these
range of
people
this
are gonna
podcast
see-
is 25 to 35.
Some of those people are gonna see those pre-made
And be like,
decks and be like,
"Whoa."
"Wow,
Yeah, that's a
pure
blast from the
nostalgia."
past. I'll put it all up
pure
tonight.
nostalgia.
Okay, one more thing I wanted to talk about, and this is going back to Star Wars. I'm sure we're all excited for the Pokemon Switch game. I hope they do it the way we want, though. But I don't. They probably fucking will butcher it. But so I put this up on the Retrocade Facebook page, I think like last week, and it was about something called HasLab. HasLab now is this crowdfunding thing from Hasbro to create items that like collectors really want. And because like there might not be a market for it or not, Hasbro has done this bullshit that in other words, it's called HasLab. It's like, we'll make this awesome thing if we get enough people to back it, which is like kind of scummy for a corporation to do. But the item that they were doing is pretty fucking sick.
So this is news to me, and I'm actually excited. So let me take a gander.
Take a gander at this. Full size, 3 3/4 inch figure scale of the Jabba sales barge, and it looks sick.
Oh boy, look at
It looks
this.
sick. If you're a Star Wars fan,
500.
but the sticker price is $500,
No, so it's
and you can't even get it now because it's over already. They got the crowdfunded it.
It's pre-sold.
Pre-sold. They had to get 5,000 to make it. If they weren't gonna get 5,000,
What
they
I
were gonna
love it though is they have like the old 80s Jabba.
Yes,
in there.
He comes with it.
They got like
It comes with a
the
Jabba and a
grimy-
Re-Ease. Yeah.
the two grimy aliens on the gun.
Yes. They don't come with it though.
What about?
Re-Ease comes with it. He comes with it. He actually comes in his own packaging with a coin. It's going to be a lot of money. They're already saying that they're going to be going for like 2,000 in like England and shit because England's not getting them. It's only the U.S. and Canada. So it's like a massive deal. I should have bought one. It would have been a good investment.
If you could have bought one, you could easily double your money.
Yeah, wait on it for a year. You totally quadruple your money.
It's fantastically awesome.
Beautiful though. And it's they showed a big guy holding the box. The box like 5 feet long.
It's phenomenal.
It's
it really is.
gorgeous.
It's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful piece, right? Where would you put something like this? It looks great though.
It's how do you justify spending $500?
$500 on a Kenner toy.
It's a fucking beautiful.
You
thing.
like the inside of it too, right?
I think it's tremendous.
Yeah, it comes with the Jabba that sits on his thing.
It's kind of one of those things that you always envision.
Doesn't come with Salacious. That was the thing, though. You see, this has been wanted by collectors since '83, and they were never able to make it because it was supposed to be so huge.
The scale of it's
Huge.
massive.
It would have been the hugest. It's going to be like the size of that massive Millennium Falcon that they made, 10 years back or whatever.
I'd rather buy that than Legos. Not to
Yeah. Well, some people like
deter
Legos.
people we know.
Don't worry, that kid you're talking about's not going to listen to this podcast. I don't think.
Podcast.
I'm not listening to podcast.
Police officer.
But that is a beautiful piece, though. But again,
It
where do
is
you put
beautiful.
a fucking 5-foot?
It's hard to justify spending
Jabba's
$500
skiff.
on a Star Wars toy, but
It's sick. Well, when I heard
is-
about it, the thing was still on. When I originally heard about it, it was still like you could still bid in. I was $500. Get the fuck out of here. Then I realized like, oh wait, this thing's gonna be worth $2,000. I should have bought it. But
oh yeah, that's gonna sell like hot. What's the you know what the production
it's
cap is? How many they're making?
Oh, they're making 8,000 of them, I think, because they needed a 5,000 minimum to back it. They needed 5,000 minimum to back it. If they're getting 4,500, it wasn't enough. They needed 5,000 people to back it at $500 a piece by like April 1st or something. They ended up getting like 8,300 people to back it.
I mean, steep tag, but it's a beautiful piece.
Steep fucking is right. It's a hefty tag, but it's a beautiful piece. I have those pictures up already.
You don't want to tear the box, but you do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, but that's why you kind of have to buy 2 or 3 of them. You buy one to keep sealed, you keep one to display, and then one to sell.
This clusterfuck here, and that what's lacking is a sail barge.
Right. Well, I have the what's it called over there? I have the
AT-AT.
Well, not the AT-ATs, the Jawas, the Sandcrawler.
The Sandcrawler.
But that's tiny compared to, and that thing's expensive, but not compared to like a full size sales barge. You know, that's crazy piece. But we went on a big Pokemon tangent, but I was happy we got all of that talk out of the way. We needed to talk about that.
Nostalgia and
put all those
Infinity
pictures
War,
up together.
So I gave him an 80. He says 78. So we're pretty much on the same page.
On the same page. We liked it.
If you haven't watched it, we gave spoilers.
It's all spoiled.
Nothing spoiler heavy, but
I mean, come on. We talked about the whole movie. Should we say Gamora dies? Gamora dies.
Dead.
She'll probably come back.
Check it out.
Check out it.
And we got some big things for episode 30.
Real
in the works,
big.
So
It's gonna be real big.
You'll see it then.
We're going to be very excited. And, I guess the next time we'll be back, we'll definitely be talking about Deadpool. Deadpool's coming out tonight.
Deadpool Solo will be our next episode, and then episode 30 got big things in the works.
Excellent. All right. That's it for this weekend. We got a lot done. Hour and a half episode. Everybody, enjoy yourselves. Keep watching the stuff.